So it's maybe a little bit of a stretch. But I've been watching the show Severance on Apple TV, and it got me thinking about some things. If you haven't seen it, premise is basically a large corporation figures out a way to surgically separate people's brains and put this chip in so that when they're at home, they don't know what happened at work and vice versa, basically completely separating their home and work life. And what the show kind of explores is the character development over time of these characters that don't have any connection between their home and work life and how these characters develop. It kind of got me thinking about perspective and how different input conditions change our perspective on life, and how drastic it can be depending on what situations and conditions you're in. Anyway, you're probably like, why does this have anything to do with photography? But we'll get there. I was trying to like analyze this, and it wasn't necessarily photography itself that drove this. It was a realization that was enabled by photography. When I got into wildlife photography, one of the first things I started doing was birds, right? And what photography forced me to do was really pay attention to birds and their habits, how they acted, and really kind of slow down and look at them. I started to appreciate over time the birds themselves, and like the colors, the habitats, the habits they had, and really slow down and watch them. And what I realized through this was that I'd never in my entire life had really paid attention to birds. Seen them all over, you always go about your day, you see birds everywhere, but you never really pay attention to it. And the realization I had was that there's so many things in life that we just completely ignore and bypass, because we're on this like constant mission, this constant like rat race, and always worried about the next thing, the next big thing, next big goal we got to get to. Always worried about what people think and kind of focused on our own lives, and we tend to blind ourselves to all the things going on around us. So it wasn't necessarily photography that drove this. It was something that was enabled by photography that made me realize this. Yeah, I'm taking pictures of birds and really enjoy being out in nature, but as I got more and more into it, I started to notice a change in my daily life where I was actually starting to appreciate and pay attention to other things that I'd just been ignoring.
And I'm maybe talking out my ass, but I do believe that perspective has a major impact on our mental health and how we view our daily lives. And I know this isn't a new and novel concept, but it took me experiencing some of that perspective shift to really understand what people were talking about.
I think that's why I want to share photography with people. It's not because I want to teach people how to take pretty photos that they can share with their friends and their families. It's more about the fact that photography enabled a perspective shift for me. And if that can help somebody, I think it's worth it. Now the sun's up, we've got some beautiful lighting conditions. I'm gonna slap this little boy on there and walk around, see what we can find. If we don't find anything, it's all right, because it's really more about just getting out here and enjoying nature.
I guess what I'm trying to describe is a practical application of cognitive behavioral therapy. It's a way to reframe the world and how we interpret it. In a simple way, all I am saying is that birdwatching and wildlife photography can open the door to some self-realizations, leading to an increased sense of gratitude and appreciation. It's so easy to just take many aspects of our lives for granted. Maybe all we need to do is just stop for a moment to observe. Now, will this solve anything? Probably not. But it is